Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from the Fashion Mall at Keystone on the north side of Indianapolis. Big changes are in the works at this longtime high-end shopping destination here in Indianapolis. The Fashion Mall's owner, Simon Property Group, recently confirming the departure of Saks Fifth Avenue, which has long been a staple here. More than 20 years as one of the anchors of the Fashion Mall. The departure is part of a major redevelopment of this property to include a variety of different shopping experiences with new retailers, dining, entertainment, and an outdoor plaza. It's representative of big changes taking place on the retail scene throughout Indiana. In downtown Indianapolis, Hendricks Commercial Properties is moving forward with its $600 million plan to reinvent Circle Center, gutting the traditional indoor mall and creating an open-air experience with retail, entertainment, office, and housing.
Think about this. You're going to have an expanded convention center and the Signia Hotel right next door to this, all coming online about the same time. I think that's a tremendous alignment. And as a result, we're going to see a lot of positive things happening in the core of downtown Indianapolis.
That's longtime real estate executive Bill French, who tells me despite the disruption, the change in the industry, the retail industry in central Indiana and around the state is surprisingly strong, but it is going to look different. Macy's recent announcement of plans to close 150 stores. Another example of retailers continuing to reinvent themselves in an industry in transition. And while news that Saks is exiting the Fashion Mall made headlines, it didn't come as a surprise to industry observers like Bill French.
There have been discussions about this in 2018 and 2019. This project just got shelved during 2020.
And French says the move opens the door for a new retail experience.
The Simon Property folks have been just fantastic with all the innovation they've brought to the Fashion Mall over the years. With the Saks Fifth Avenue reworking area, I think we're going to see more experiential types of retail coming. Restaurants, we're going to see more specific operators like Levi's and or Gucci, but we'll also see some outdoor area that will be incorporated and possibly some office space included too. I think it'll drive a lot more volume in people and dollars through the Fashion Mall. I think it'd be very good for everyone who shops there. In our central Indiana area, we're 95% occupied, which is just amazing. This is record height. We're seeing some of the suburbs, Avon, Brownsburg, Fishers, Zionsville, Carmel, with vacancy rates maybe 2 or 3%. Oftentimes there will be a line forming, if you will, to occupy vacant space.
And while traditional malls are closing or being reimagined or repurposed around Indiana, French says statewide markets are seeing activity.
South Bend, Mishawaka area has been very strong. Fort Wayne remains strong. I see a lot of growth in Fort Wayne in particular. Down on the south side where Jefferson Ridge is located in Jeffersonville and the Clarksville area, a lot of new construction and development has gone on there in the last couple of years. That beltway, the 265 beltway that goes around, has really made dramatic improvements. The mall business is strong if the mall's in the right location. French says another indicator of the strength of the retail market here in Indiana, bankruptcies. He says bankruptcies in the retail space among their lowest levels in, say, 10 to 15 years. As for the big project here at the Fashion Mall at Keystone, a timeline, Saks expected to leave this property sometime in the summer months, and then the big revamp of that space on the southeast side of the Fashion Mall expected to be complete with the first stores coming online in 2026. As for me, I'm headed to I-69 right now, headed south to Evansville, and the very first edition of our Engage Indiana series. IBJ Media and Inside Indiana Business will this year host events in 9 regions around the state, engaging business and community leaders on important business issues and economic challenges in their regions. We expect a crowd of well over 300 community leaders in Indiana's 3rd largest city, and we will have a complete report on our visit to Evansville and the scoop on what's happening in Southwest Indiana on next week's show. So I'll see you next week. For now, I'm sending it back to the studio and Mary Rachel Redmond, who has the rest of this week's show. Mary Rachel.